There's a thought that's been bouncing around my head, and I'm working hard to try to figure out exactly how to express it. And I think it goes something like this. Stop letting influencers influence you past your means. Now, usually when we use the word means, what we mean is a financial means. But I also think this also is applicable to your skill level. So sometimes an influencer will, direct you in a certain way based upon what they're doing, and you might not have the skill or even maybe the interest in pursuing that, but because the influencer is the one doing it, you start to feel pressured to try the same thing while building a street photography portfolio, because the influencers you're watching tend to darken their shadows to almost black and focus on those subjects and the highlights and the way the angles of the shadows work. You decide to shoot your street photography the same exact way. Or because everybody is starting to shoot film, you start shooting film too. Or they're editing their digital photos to look like film, you start to do the same thing. Or maybe because they're all getting free Hasselblads, you feel like you need to buy one for yourself. It's a bad idea. Don't let influencers influence you past your means. So welcome to another conversation in the back of my van. Along with this video, I want to share some behind the scenes of me going out there and doing a little photo walk in my local park, just testing out my Fuji X100 a little bit more, seeing more of what it's capable of, and I really enjoyed some of the photos that I got, and wanted to share them with you today. This is a fun little area. There's a cone out there, just kind of partially buried. This pool is reflecting the colors really nicely, but ground is super muddy, so I'm not going to be going any further. And I am no stranger to being influenced. From the very beginning, I've let the influencers in the field determine what I wanted, what I purchased, and what I was spending my time doing. A couple years ago, I think it was a couple years ago, I put out a video talking about the mistakes I made as a beginner photographer. This was one of the big ones. A mindset mistake of taking on another person's approach, buying another person's recommended equipment or what they were using because you saw their content, you saw their popularity, and you thought, oh, if I shoot that way, if I use that gear, I'm gonna wind up as big as they are. Never works. You gotta do your own work and not rely on someone else's. There's our cone from this side now. So I really like the cone, and I really like the color of the trees in the background here. But I'm either getting this reflection here from this tree, or I'm getting this tree here, and it's pulling the weight off to either side. So I'm either going to have to crop in and get rid of those, or just accept the fact that this scene right here, I'm going to wind up having this tree or this reflection. Something you have to realize is that the algorithms on YouTube, Google, Instagram, TikTok, they want you to buy things. They want you to want things. And so if there's an inclination that there's something you might want to purchase or something you're interested in, these algorithms will continue to feed you content based upon those things excessively to feed that hunger for that thing. What this does is it, one, keeps you watching the platform more often, but what it also does is it gives them leverage to position certain marketing material in front of you from these companies and then sell advertising space to them. This is how the advertising field is working right now, especially with social media. And transparency is totally necessary, and that's why I'm bringing this up right now. As an example, My dream camera, the camera that I've been wanting since I first heard about it, has been the Hasselblad X2D 100C. It's a 100 megapixel medium format camera, super sleek aluminum body, very cool camera. It's completely out of my means financially. You're talking about like an over $8,000 camera body, lenses are over $3,000 each, so just a very expensive system, premium. I don't need it. I can't stress how little I need this camera to create good photos, but it's my dream camera. Cool scene. Really cool twisted branches. I'm not much of a woodland photographer, so I'm a little bit out of my element here. My instinct is to, oh, I saw this in this moment, I'm gonna take a picture exactly where I found it. Which does not do it justice. Ah, where's Nigel dancing when I need him? Something about the texture on the log that I'm more interested in than the background or the foreground. So I'm shooting at like f3.6. Like I said, not a woodland photographer. The influencer derives their authority, their source of income from influencing you. That's in the name. Expect it. And any honest influencer is going to tell you that up front, that what they are doing is specifically trying to provide a product, service, mindset, something for you to then purchase or abide by, resulting in their increase in influence and in your benefit in a lot of cases. But it does not benefit you to spend $14,000 on a camera just because so-and-so influencer and so-and-so other influencer got it for free. Beautiful trees today, beautiful colors. Yeah, just gorgeous. Not too long ago, Hasselblad released this Earth Explorer series. It's this more muted tan color, kind of a greenish tan color, and they started passing it out to a few key YouTubers that I actually watch quite a bit. And because I started watching these videos, it fed my covetousness, my desire for that camera even more so, to the point where I almost put it on a credit card and tried to get a loan for it. I almost thought about selling my van to get it. It was getting real bad, and my wife had to basically slap some sense into me. But what happened was, from that point that I started watching these videos and thinking about this camera and shopping for it on B&H and looking at spec sheets on Hasselblad's website, I have gotten nothing but Hasselblad X2D videos pitched to me all across YouTube. It's insane. Every other video that's on that homepage is an X2D video, because I made the mistake of watching a few videos centered around this camera and going to their website. The algorithm knows what you want, and it wants you to buy what it's selling. It's got to be my lucky day. Look what I just found. 31 cents. Oh yeah. It's very pretty. but also the water is very messy. I don't mind it. Really does add some layering. The canopy above isn't my favorite. I've tried to kind of incorporate these yellow leaves over here, try to help. This red bush right there, that's really what I want to be focused on. I love the color and the contrast with the pine tree next to it. But I can't seem to get it framed up nicely just by itself. Just accept the busyness of the canopy above. What I don't love about that is how the branches above and both corners are kind of reaching into the frame. Now, on the one hand, yes, it's unfortunate for me because I'm seeing all of my favorite YouTubers like Roman Fox and James Popsis and Thomas Heaton get these fancy new cameras for free that I've dreamt about. The scary thing is these algorithms know you better than you know you in a lot of ways. They are trained to track, trace, keep an eye on you and to feed you the interest that you have so that you stay on platforms longer, so that you're more willing to purchase, and so that in the end, they basically control you. And I'm not blaming YouTubers. I'm not blaming these YouTube influencers. They're not to blame here for this thing that's been created by these billionaires that are running the world. All they are doing is just like me, just like anybody else, sharing something they're passionate about and trying to help others, usually help others find the best path. At least that's what I want to believe about all these YouTubers I watch. But in the end, it's up to you to make your own decision. Don't let the influencer tell you how to approach what you're passionate about. They don't get a say in this thing. Sure, you can take their advice or suggestions if they're good ones, but if they're not aligning with you, throw them out. It's not worth pursuing. I didn't feel like coming out today. I didn't, I'll be honest. It's been difficult these past few weeks. My daughter has been extra clingy lately. And my son, who's 6 months old, has been teething and not sleeping super well. Thus, I am not sleeping super well. And that, plus my work schedule, I just didn't really feel like coming out today. But I came out anyway, and I am happier for it. Doing stuff like this, even if it's just your local park, take an opportunity. It doesn't have to be anywhere grand, anywhere special, anywhere interesting even. There's always something to see and something to photograph if you have eyes for it, because you really never know what's out there unless you go out and check it out for yourself. Can't even really capture it fully. Mostly because there's also this pine tree here and a pine tree there, and both are kind of taking away from that. I bought the 28mm adapter for the X100-6. I think it's time to break that out and just see if I can capture this any better with a wide-angle lens. Okay, and there we go. That's the adapter. 28mm turns this into a slightly wider lens. I do think there's maybe a little bit of loss of light from it. I don't know by how much. Optically, it's still beautiful. There's no issues I've seen. And yep, that is doing the trick. What's really captivating me right now is this orange fluffy bit in the center of the tree. And then all around the base here, you've got these orange leaves as well. Those two combined with each other just make this really nice. Wow, that is beautiful. And 28mm, or the equivalent focal length, really is the best way to capture it. And that's really mainly what I wanted to talk about on this subject. I don't want to alienate anybody, especially bigger YouTubers out there that one day I hope to collaborate with. All I want to say to you, the viewer, and really to myself, is pursue this for the right reason, do your own research, figure out your best path, and then go that route. Don't let influencers or these YouTube videos sway you in one direction or another. Take it as part of your entire body of research, and then do what you love, because you do that, and that's where you start standing out as an individual. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful, or at least raised some questions. Let me know what you think in the comments down below of either the discussion or the photos. I really appreciate you joining me again, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.